Hey everyone. Oh, Tyler.
All right, start us off, Dan.
Yep, 3, 2.
Hey everyone. Welcome back to the Team Figgins podcast. We got a crew today. Same thing as last week. Jacob, Aiden, and Tyler. And this week we got a whole bunch of topics to talk about. So
Oh, wait.
Wait.
I have an idea. I
What?
just read the name, says TF Unnamed Podcast.
hmm
Why don't we just, open that up to let people talk about, any name suggestions? Drop it to us somewhere, Instagram DM or something. Just let everyone give their feedback on what we should actually end up naming it.
So we've come up with, we had On the Tee that's already a podcast. Wait, is it a golf podcast?
Yeah.
It is a
Yeah.
golf podcast.
We could make it
Shout
a
out
disc
to
golf
them.
podcast.
I feel like we could do the same.
On the pad?
Because if we add on the...
Yeah, it doesn't
doesn't
ring.
sound as like...
Yeah,
No.
I don't
But
know.
if we do On the Tee with Team Figgins, disc golf? I don't know. On the...
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Tea time was another suggestion. Tea time.
time.
With
Tea
Figgins.
time said that bores me. I don't know why, but
But it's like tea time, like TEA and also TEE.
yeah, it kind of makes me want to have tea
Ooh.
and I don't. So
We could all
okay,
be
sorry, I didn't mean
drinking
to interrupt
tea
you,
with our
Dan.
cups.
You can.
Clink our
What are we-
mugs.
what are we starting with?
Every week.
Let's start with you, Tyler, helping out with chess.com, but also you're doing like a little flex start before that. I just want you to cover all bases on whatever heck you're doing for that. Does that make sense?
Okay, we'll just do Team Figgins' involvement, which is I guess me, helping with the Pro Tour event and then the Paul McBeth Foundation for Florida.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think there's other events going on, but we have plenty of time to talk about them later. So I guess coming up right after this podcast will drop, we have the chess.com Invitational, which is the first Disc Golf Pro Tour stop of the year in Florida this year, super high.
Yes.
I'm super, excited to be a part of the staff for that. Shout out to, Dustin and Zach and the Paul McBeth Foundation for keeping me around, letting me have fun with events as needed. Super grateful to always be involved anytime I am. And here at our best course in Florida, so exciting to be on the grounds of that. So we are there's some activities going on leading up to the event. I think there's the Play with the Champs, like what Dustin and I did with Terry Miller at Ledgestone. I think they're going to run back some other fundraiser prior to chess.com. And then following chess.com Invitational, the Paul McBeth Foundation is running a flex start that you can come out and play the FPO layout. And so everyone gets to get their feet wet on what a Pro Tour layout is like as an amateur or local pro if you want. And it's just going to be an exciting time, I think, for Florida because as everyone in Florida, if you're not from Florida, you probably have heard of Throw Down the Mountain, now named Olympus. So it's kind of a big deal for us. It's a lot of people's favorite course just because of many reasons. It's unique to the area because it's not something that is like a typical Florida course. It's not flat. So there's lots of up and down hills. There's tight lines. There's off of a cliff, down super hyzer landing, and then yeah, it's a beautiful course. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend checking out the Jomez coverage from Throw Down the Mountain, or hopefully we'll have some live coverage from the Disc Golf Pro Tour event coming up. So that's if you're in the area, come out and support the event. Be a part of the first Pro Tour stop of the year. Get to see your favorite pros. If you don't
And also your
or
favorite TD
can't make
Taylor
that,
Parker.
I will be volunteer coordinating, actually. Glad you mentioned that. I don't know why it made me think of this, but I am the volunteer coordinator for the event. So if you guys are available for the weekend and you want to be a part of it, there is a Sign Up Genius link to where we have all of the positions posted of what we need. Can we drop it somewhere on below on the YouTube
Look
video
in
or
the
something?
comments of whatever platform you're on.
Okay.
point
We'll
to-
try to make sure it's accessible.
I'll point to each corner, and then whichever one it ends up in, at least one point,
Yeah,
it will be correct.
There you go. But we have stuff like check-in. We have spotters. There's so many positions that are available. You get a really cool staff shirt. And for every shift you work, you get a tournament disc, I believe, for the event. And if you work multiple shifts in one day, you get fed. So it's kind of a win-win situation if you want to be on site for the Disc Golf Pro Tour event, but you don't want to get a gallery pass or something. So super exciting. I'm pumped that we get to start the Pro Tour in Florida this year. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. But then I'm just as excited about the Flex Start that we get to help fundraise money for the Palm Beth Foundation on the following Monday. So I hope that you guys come out and play if you're off or take off, because it would be super cool to play the event. So it helps us with courses going in the projects that we do with the Palm Beth Foundation. And as you know, I'm super passionate about the Montenegro project. So always happy to like grow disc golf across the world through Palm Beth Foundation. It's such a blessing to be a part of like a really cool movement. So that's what I have to recap for the 2 events that I will be involved in.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, I mean, you talked about Throwdown some, but just to like put it all in perspective, Throwdown is literally Throwdown the mountain. Like anytime you go to play the course, which is super cool for the Floridians who are listening to this, like Throwdown is not a normal Florida course by any means. And it's one of the coolest courses that you'll ever play, even for like people who like, play in Colorado and stuff. I think it's super unique to come. I think technically Tom Brown is the number 1 course in Florida just because Olympus technically isn't, established yet. And Jake is smiling over there knowing that it is the number 1 course.
We'll see how long that lasts.
Honestly, and now it will be a permanent
definitely getting
course.
a run for its money.
Yeah, now it will be a permanent course where originally it was only for that month or month and a half of Throw Down the Mountain and stuff. So it's super cool. But
I can't wait for everyone who is watching this coverage and they see 18 for the first time. And then it's going to click. Like for anyone who hasn't watched old coverage, they're going to be like, wait, is that the shot? Is that the hole where Simon threw that shot? And then everyone will be so pumped. I'm excited to see that course on coverage, because being out on that property, it looks like some of those lines are fine on coverage. Like it looks like there's a clear shot. There are some holes that are so difficult, and when you're actually standing on the tee, the shots that these people are throwing are just mind-boggling. Like when you stand on the tee of 18, it's impossible to do what Simon did on that shot. So I'm really excited to watch that on the coverage. It's going to be cool to see pros back there.
It's going to be sick. All right, Tyler.
Yeah.
What else do you got? Is that it?
Well, you and I are going to be at GCCO, I guess right before this podcast drops. So
yeah,
that's kind of our feature event for the area. It's the first big A tier that is happening in Florida. You get to be a part of it, photographer.
Mm-hmm.
I will be TDing with Zach Smith at Pureline, so that's kind of cool. We literally have so many events. We have Tallahassee and Polk County going on. We go straight into GCCO, and then we have All Stars. Is All Stars the week before chess.com?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we have chess.com, and it's like, bam, we're already back full swing into the Disc Golf Pro Tour at that point.
Yeah.
It seems like the off season this year absolutely blew past us. Like it feels like it just started, or at least for me. And I don't even play on the Pro Tour, so
yeah. Hey, just to throw it out there too, if any of you guys are subscribed to the Disc Golfer magazine through the PDGA, if you look in their spring issue this year, you may see a couple photos taken by yours truly at GCCO. Just throwing it out there. It's pretty cool. It's definitely an honor to be in that magazine. I'm not sure if I'll be in it yet, to be honest, because I haven't taken the photos.
We're believing it. So
we're believing it now. So hopefully I didn't just jinx myself or something like that. But hey, who knows? Who knows? All right. So Tyler, I know you just talked about chess.com and stuff like that, and the tour is literally about to start. However, I just want to get y'all's opinions, your predictions on what's going to happen this season. I need a wild prediction here too. I need something that's so off the charts where people are just gonna come at you on Instagram and stuff.
Silas Schultz wins the first Disc Golf Pro Tour event of the year.
Whoa!
You're taking Silas winning chess.com.
Look.
Okay.
I mean, you said off the wall, so maybe I just seen it on my hat, or maybe I'm just repping our team. But Silas has got a big year ahead of him. I'm gonna speak out.
Okay.
Okay, I actually have a prediction that kind of goes along with that. I think we're gonna see one of these, maybe a rookie or somebody who was a rookie last year. I think an Aiden Scott or a Sullivan Tipton, Kevin Kiefer, one of those guys who's just breaking out on the tour. That's just been getting on coverage for the first time. Most people don't still know who they are. are going to win a Pro Tour this year. It's going to be like another Parker Welk situation like we had last year where nobody like really knew who he was before that, but then he won DDO and now he's huge. So I think we're going to have that again this year.
That's actually a really good statement. It's probably going to be somebody like you said, like Aiden, Sully, Braden, Joey Buckets. Like,
Joseph. I feel like Joseph's going to win an event this year, or at least podium finish.
I mean, he's already down here doing things in Florida, like and finishing his off season strong at Barnett Park and stuff. So like, it's incredible to see like the new talent coming to like. It's not just your Ricky Wysocki, Paul McBeth like predictions anymore. The floor is literally open for like you said, these rookies, and then flip it to FPO side. Like, it's not Paige Pierce anymore. It's pretty much Kristen Tatar. But then we have people like. We have our Florida people that we want to support and hope the best for. The Lynn twins, Stacy. They're playing Tallahassee right now on lead card, and
Stacy's tearing it up right now.
Yeah, she is. Like, hopefully, we get to see people like them take off this year. Give Kristen a little run for her money, or if Paige shows back up on the scene, see how Paige does. But yeah, I'd have to think hard to like make some really bold predictions, but I think you bring a really good point that we're gonna see a lot more rookies this year, like with podium finishes or wins.
I think even this previous year, you saw a bunch of people just kind of break out some. I mean, Parker Welk obviously at DDO, but even like Sully at USDGC getting on league card and giving everyone a run for their money there. And there were some other people too. I think even like Aaron Gossage last year at Worlds as well. Like, I know he wasn't like that much of a rookie then, but like now he's on Discraft's elite team and stuff with a Tour Series disc and whatnot. Like, these guys are just breaking out of nowhere. And Silas at
Champions Cup, he finished 4th, right? And he was on league card.
Yeah.
I will never forget. I was on my way to Jonesboro from the Memphis airport for the Jonesboro Open. And I was like finally going back and watching the coverage. That spit out where he had on like that 400-foot hole, his drive just smashed Chains dead center and bounced out. Oh my word! I about wrecked the car.
I think that was for the lead too. If he got that ace, he would have been leading the tournament.
Yeah.
Isn't that correct? I think
it was wild.
Yeah,
I think we're going to see a lot more of that happen this year too. Because you also have some people. There's a lot of people who are in that like 10-15 to 10-20 rated range now that are like not even on the Pro Tour yet. I think we'll start to see a lot more of those guys playing events.
Yeah. All right. Worlds. Predictions.
Paul McBeth.
Yep, absolutely.
You think Paul's gonna
100% Paul McBeth.
You think Paul's gonna come back with his? He had a shoulder injury. He's had a kid now and stuff.
Who are you trying to convince, man? We all said it.
I'm just stating the facts.
Everyone unanimously. There was no argument.
He's gonna go
if
win,
like
loss, win, loss,
for Paul,
win.
who are you for?
I think Isaac's going back.
Okay,
there's zero chance Isaac.
I think Isaac
Lynchburg?
wins a. I think he wins a major.
In Lynchburg, 100% Paul.
Yes, absolutely.
He designed the course. He
That's
should
true.
know the
Good
course.
point. Good
but
point.
also,
I forgot about
through
that.
his shoulder injury, he's been rehabbing like all off season. So I think he's definitely going to be coming back strong and well prepared for Worlds.
All right.
I think we're going to see Tiger Woods 2019 Masters style comeback from Paul at Worlds this year.
Right.
He may not be able to hit the ball the farthest. He may not be throwing the disc the farthest because of his injury, but it doesn't matter. He's got the finesse and he's got that the factor, the clutch factor.
And Lynchburg is home.
All
so
right.
you got to bring it home. Bring it for your hometown.
That's true. I mean, I kind of forgot that the courses that they're playing is pretty much Paul McBeth designed. So it's a good point. However, I want to bring up 3 people: Simon, Eagle, and Calvin. Who wins a major this year?
Calvin will finish second at every single Pro Tour event this year.
I agree with that as well.
Oh, wow. That is bold
Simon,
there.
I think he's literally cursed to have a win. Like, it's not
Honestly.
It's not seeming possible.
I don't think he'll win a major, but I think he'll win at least 2 Pro Tour events again this year.
Okay. Does Eagle win anything this year?
Nope.
I feel like it's Simon over Eagle.
He's getting used to
He's
his
figuring
disc.
out plastic.
Yeah.
I think Simon gets a major, Calvin second or third, and Eagle's just not. I don't think his year is going to be what people think it's going to be.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
but to
true.
be fair, he did win a Pro Tour last year. Wasn't it a Silver Series?
The one where they played the most ridiculous
The
like
worst
tiebreaker.
playoff of all time, where they played 18 and 1 back and forth 6 times.
I feel like Isaac still should have had that. I feel like Eagle lucked up getting it, honestly.
Yeah, it was just
I don't-
whoever
I
was
don't
going to throw a
remember
B
that.
first.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate. Like he won. I don't know. I don't feel like it was a skilled win. I feel like it was truly a luck. So I could be wrong, and that could be kind of crazy.
Either luck or endurance, like just kind of
Yeah,
outlasted
because it
him.
was lots of hiking.
You saw he was exhausted. He like laid down
Yeah.
after the last putt. I'm sure they're. Yeah, hopefully they fix that this year. That was a
Yeah,
painful
that was
watch.
the craziest tournament.
All right, I got another person to ask you about. The brother to the world champion, Ezra Robinson. Does he get a win this year on the Pro Tour?
I would love to see it. I don't know that it's gonna happen.
I think we see a Silver Series out of him. I think that's
Yeah.
There
that's
is no
his
Silver
extent.
Series this year.
Oh, that's
true.
right.
There's
Well,
no Silver
equivalent. Okay,
Series.
Silver Series equivalent.
Yeah,
So like an
which,
A tier?
Honestly,
Yeah.
no, but yeah,
Because the Silver
a
Series are
big
only
A
in
tier,
Europe
like
now.
where
There's no Silver Series in the U.S. at all. It's not even a part
is
of
he
the
still?
Pro Tour.
Is he leading Tallahassee right now?
Ezra, I have
Is
no
he?
idea.
I think he was,
Is
but
he?
if he, that would be the equivalent of a Silver Series, in my opinion.
Yeah, something of that caliber. I don't think he has a Pro Tour in him.
So just large A tiers.
Yes,
I don't know,
large
he
A tiers that were like
actually-
formerly Silver Series.
He did a lot of training this offseason, it looked like.
Okay, one
Nathan
thing. Is,
Gwynn-
Green is tied with Ezra right now at Tallahassee.
Okay.
He did win a
So,
silver
if-
last year.
What was it? I forget.
it was at the end of the year. What was it?
Yeah.
It wasn't Flying Discs in New York, was it? Was
I have
it?
no
We'll see,
idea.
yeah.
Maybe.
I just wasn't. It was like a steering wheel trophy. All I remember.
Yes,
Right?
yeah, that's the Flying Discs
Yeah.
Open. It's the one up in New York.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I think it was that. Yes,
It's
it
a
was.
Datsun steering wheel because that was the
Oh, that's so sick.
because apparently the original prize for that tournament way back in the day, somebody gave away a car, like a Datsun, as the prize for the
Dang.
first tournament that they did, the first Flying Discs Open. I think they've
Dang,
been doing
that's
that
sick.
tournament for like 40 years.
That's,
That's
sick.
sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, it looks like he just has. I'm looking at his wins last year, and he has a B tier, 2 A's, and then a bunch of C tiers.
Yeah, the A tier was
The A tier.
Yeah, the one in Rochester.
Was that technically an E tier?
Oh,
But it was
Jim
Yeah,
Palmieri's
silver.
50th AFDO presented
American
by
Flying
Atlantis.
Discs Open.
Guess
Yep.
what the FDO
Oh.
stands for?
Okay. No, that's a pretty good one.
Okay,
Solid.
can we talk about how ridiculous it is that we call Pro Tour events? I don't know y'all's thoughts on this. I know we haven't talked about this. I think it's ridiculous that we call certain Pro Tour events like Silver Series or Elite Series or Elite Plus Series and like have 3 separate categories. Have your majors and then have your regular Pro Tour events. Stop with all of this like, oh, it's a Silver Series, so it's not a real Pro Tour win.
I think
Well,
we
sick of
pretty
that.
much did, right?
They did. Yeah, they stopped having silver except in
Yeah,
Europe.
that's like the
But-
year of 2024.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty stupid. I mean, I could
don't know
see
why
it
I'm so
as
mad
like
about it then.
almost like a minor
It's
league.
basically like a hyped up A tier.
Yeah. It just has the Disc Golf Pro Tour name on it. That's about it.
But the thing I got tired of was hearing like, oh well, it's a Silver Series, so it's not a real Pro Tour win. Like it's not their fault that they're the ones who showed up at the event and won.
Yeah.
Like it's not their fault that other people didn't show up. Now you can say like,
Yeah.
yeah, the field was weak, but it's not their fault. They still won a Pro Tour event. They still get the credit for winning a Pro Tour event.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that's like saying that somebody playing golf on the PGA Tour now isn't actually like credited with that win on the PGA Tour because so many of the best golfers went to live. Like I feel like you can't make that argument, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I feel like if the majority, if it's not really going to have a big showing from the like bulk of the Pro Tour, then it shouldn't even be a Pro Tour event at that point. Like, why invest the resources if they're not all going to come? Like, just skip that event as an event. So maybe that was the point of doing away with like the Silver Series.
Yeah, I think it was.
America.
I think it was a lot of hard work for the staff too, just to move around that much more. Because even like when you had like a week off to travel, no, you're still going to another event, and then you had to go to the main event, and it was probably a lot for them in general. But I'm glad that they kind of got rid of it. I mean, I know Europe still has them technically, but it probably will look completely different because I'm guessing other people are running it over there. But all right, let me ask you guys this. I know we're kind of talking about players right now, but I keep on having players come into my mind of who I feel like this guy is due for a win. However, I'm not sure if this is his year or not. Anthony Barella, this year or no? Does he get a Pro Tour
I
win?
don't think so.
Okay,
I don't know.
Jacob, you had something to say. Go for it.
No, I just feel like he's one of those guys who probably are never going to get to that point. Like, I feel like
He has the distance.
He's good and he has the distance, but I don't think, I think he's hit his ceiling. Like, I don't feel like there's any more.
I don't know if he's hit his ceiling, but there's something about his game lacking.
Yeah, and I just don't know what exactly. Like, I just don't feel like he either is. I don't want to say that he's not putting in work because he's obviously putting in work, but there's just something about the way he plays disc golf that I don't think
I
he's.
feel like he needs to play
win.
a little more with Isaac Robinson to learn some more woods kind of style golf instead of just going out to a big old field and just crushing them 800.
Well, that's why you see
at a
him
time.
on lead card or like on playing so well out at like in Las Vegas and like out in those open courses
Yeah.
because he can throw really far. But as soon as you
Yeah.
give him anything technical or when it comes down, I think he could just have
However-
really bad rounds though. Like he can just be playing terrible, and then all of a sudden the next round he's like shredding and shoots 18 down.
He did. I don't want to shy away from this either, though. He did come in second at Worlds this past year behind Isaac. I just remembered that, which is kind of
I had
surprising
forgotten about that.
because it was more of a wooded. Was it more of a wood style course? I'm trying to
I
remember
think he
now.
can still play really well in the woods. I've seen him play well on coverage in the woods, but I honestly that one I can't remember what tournament it was. It was the one in Europe, right? That he was in the lead by like
European
4
Open.
shots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Part of it, I also think that he was robbed of a win there because of poor course design. I don't like that where it's a hazard that you can't advance from, like because he had to keep re-teeing, right? He wasn't at a drop
Yeah,
zone.
it was the
throwing
bunker
those.
rule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like that rule at all. Tyler has something to say about that.
It took me a second to catch up to what you were talking about, and then I was like, remembering everyone
Yes,
talking about
he's
it.
running out of discs because he couldn't hit the
Yeah.
island.
Yeah, what does
That's
happen when
rough.
you like run out of discs on that? Like you just keep missing it.
You
and then
borrow from a card mate. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's weird. One of those hard rules because it's like you almost want to say that the design by the tournament director or the pro tour, whoever was in control of how that flowed, was a bad decision. But if it's only affecting one person out of the pool, is it a bad decision? Like, I don't know how you really make those calls. And what you do if they truly run out of discs.
I think-
because at some point, if they're at that skill, they should be able to hit the shot probably.
Yeah, I think you just need a drop zone. I think that solves that entire problem. Like, just have a drop zone.
But was it a problem with anyone else, or was it just AB?
I'm sure there are
no,
other
they-
people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There were
Had to
plenty
be.
of people who had missed at least twice or 3 times or something like that.
How long was the hole?
It's a par 4, right?
Yeah, I
You-
mean, there should be a drop zone at least advancing one stroke.
Yeah, because you kind of shoot it out into the fairway, and then the hole itself is like an island. That it's literally like a circle one island.
Wasn't his upshot that he was missing though from where his landing zone was?
Yeah. Yeah, so
Okay,
it's
yeah.
just
At that point,
upshot
I don't
into the
think there should
island.
be a drop zone. Yeah, I don't think there should be a drop zone at that point. Like if you could play it short and then go into the island, he's just not choosing the best direction of play over and over and over again. If you've missed the island once or twice, then by logic you should play it smarter if you're not going to hit it consistently. Is what I feel like actually.
I agree with that.
So you do like the bunker roll then?
I didn't realize. I forgot that. Yeah, I forgot that it was long enough that they had to like landing zone,
Hmm.
because then at that point it's about placement and skill, and I doubt that more than 20% are going to be struggling, because they're going to be like, oh crap, I screwed up 2 shots in a row. Do I want to keep going aggressive with the 90% chance of penalty, or do I play it smart? You have to make that decision for yourself at that point.
Yeah.
I don't feel like a drop zone would be required.
Okay, here's my thoughts on this. So I'm looking at the hole right now. It's a 728-foot par 4. So right off the bat, that does, with that tiny landing zone, that does make it a tough second shot to even give yourself a look at birdie. That being said, there is a way to just lay up close to that and then jump putt over that little bunker area and then take your par. But I don't understand why, if you throw OB, I don't understand why we are creating some kind of new scenario in which OB is just this new thing where you have to throw from the same lie you were already at. Like in every other circumstance, when you throw out of bounds or into water or into a hazard, you play from the edge of that hazard. So I don't understand why we have this new thing like that. Doesn't exist in golf. You don't have a re-tee. Like it has to be a purposeful decision to re-tee because it would be better for you. I don't understand why that exists.
Well, this rule also, you also have to remember with the bunker rule technically doesn't necessarily make it OB in a way, because you don't add a stroke to the end of your score. You anytime you throw the disc with bunker and let's say you miss it, you just count that throw. It's not an extra throw then. So that's why AB threw, that shot 4 or 5 times and missed it, and then, he had to finally make it, and then that's why how he lost his like 4 stroke lead or whatever. It wasn't because of OB strokes necessarily, because there wasn't any OB strokes. It was just him missing the island. That's what the bunker rule is. Does that make
I guess that's
sense?
my problem with this game is like if that was the rule, no matter whether you agree that was a good rule or a bad rule, I feel like he should have realized at shot 2 or even 3, hey, like I need to just lay this up. I need to get to the point where I can make a good shot from here if I can't throw a good shot here.
Yeah.
And I feel like he makes too many of those type of like he waits too long or keeps trying to throw a crazy shot when it's like the smart play would be throwing so you can advance at least a little farther, and I think that's where his game I guess lacks.
I think
true.
it's probably also a little bit of nerves too. He probably is dealing with that a lot. He seemed like obviously anybody would be frustrated after that, but he seemed like beyond what most players would be, agitated at the situation. So it could also be just like he was nervous and was dealing with that. So that may be something he'll have to work on in the future too.
Yeah, and
Sure.
before we continue talking about that, we can transition. But we did want to give away a sweet Team Figgins Open disc. So
Oh, that's pretty.
all you need to do, comment or I guess share. What do we want to do? Share the story or share the podcast to your story, maybe, Dan? What do you think?
Yeah, share the podcast to your story. Make sure you tag us so that we can see it as well. If you're private, we're not going to be able to see it. Just fair warning. However, we would love for y'all to be sharing this podcast because we want to keep doing this as long as we can, and we want to give back to you guys because we love you guys, and we couldn't do it without you as well. So, yeah.
So share that, and then we'll pick someone who shares that, and then I will get your shipping information and send that off to you.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Anything else? Predictions? FPO? Kristen Tatar will probably win it all. Let's be real.
Okay, but she's going to be gone for a long time, right? Isn't she going to be in Europe for like
I haven't
6
actually
weeks?
looked at her tour series. Yeah, I think so, actually. She did just recently post her tour series. But, so that gives fair game to a few Americans for a little while.
So, will Paige come back then?
I wonder if she's rehabbed.
I think she is.
Or we get to see the other, like, top females maybe rise. I know Stacey Ronsley spent a lot of time in Florida in the off-season conditioning, so she's gained a lot of potential. So, curious. I don't really have many predictions on that because I'm definitely Team Kristen, but when she's not there, it'll be interesting to see.
I think Eliezer could pop off one tournament or two too as well.
I'm here for it.
She
I'd love to see
crushes.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Maybe.
FPO doesn't. Sorry, you
Go
go.
ahead, Jacob. No.
Oh
you.
no, I just feel like FPO is like they don't have the talent pool that MPO is like just getting like that. The talent pool in MPO has grown like astronomically in the past couple of years, and I think FPO is starting to get to that point, but I don't think it's there. So that you have less people that are gonna pop up out of nowhere because I mean you have a couple people, but that's why you do see like Kristen and even Paige kind of dominating those events.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
I have Kristen Tatar's schedule. This is actually kind of nuts. So she's playing everything. She's not playing chess.com, it looks like. She's starting with
Oh, that'd be
Waco.
cool.
Then
What?
she has, of course, Open at Austin, Women's Disc Golf Championship, U.S. Women's, Texas State's, Jonesboro, Music City, Champions Cup. And then she takes a break. Champions Cup is end of April. She takes a break until end of May and plays Portland Open and Beaver State Fling. After that, that's first week of June. First and second week of June is Beaver State Fling. Then she goes to Finland and plays in Europe until Worlds in late August. So she's going to be gone
Whoa.
from beginning of June to late August. So she's missing everything in June and July and the beginning of August. So that's like
That's like
7 or 8 weeks.
it's like
without
Idlewild
Kristen.
and Ledgestone and stuff, right?
Yes.
Dang.
She wasn't at Ledgestone last year either, I don't
Oh,
think.
that's right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she took a break last year too.
Which is cool. I'm glad she supports the European tour and stuff, like her country and all.
For sure. I mean, just got sponsored by Porsche. I mean, that's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you gotta support Estonia. That's pretty sick. All right. Final thoughts, Jacob. Anything?
I think Paul's taking down at least 5 Pro Tour events this year.
5?
At least 5. At least 5. Tyler got the confetti
Oh
to
my word! I love
go
Paul,
with it.
but 5 is kind of crazy.
You
Five?
love
That's-
Paul
As
enough
you,
to
if you
rep
can't
him.
tell. Oh man,
Yeah.
in Jonesboro, I was caddying for Randon, one of the days that we were up there, and while we were warming up, I talked to Paul a little bit, and then he realized I was wearing his shirt, and he was making fun of Donnie because he was like, he's literally wearing someone else's gear right now while he's caddying for you. He's like, he's literally wearing my merch. I was like, we just need Randon Lotta merch then. I don't know.
Yes, we do. Donnie Lama merch.
That's right. Oh, there is some good Donnie Lama stuff. I have one of his discs on the wall. Actually, wait, where is it? Somewhere over there. There it is. No, that's hold on.
That's
There
Paul.
it is. Hold on. There it is. Right there, Donnie Lama.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
Paul,
funny.
Paul, Donnie.
Yeah. Paul.
It's a couple. Yeah.
Oh man,
It's
Awesome.
that's
a
so
very
funny.
cool.
Paul-centered wall.
All right. Well, Tyler, thank you for giving us a rundown of chess.com and also the rest of you guys for giving us some predictions for this year. This is going to be a great season, I think. I think this is going to be super cool. Sad no Vegas, but hey, tour starts in Florida now. Let's try
Yeah,
to
we
get some
got this.
yeah, let's test some Florida boys out this year. Hey, thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. If you enjoyed, make sure you guys subscribe, follow, whatever you do with your podcast. Like this, share this podcast, and hey, maybe you'll win a free disc from us from our tournament we just ran. So that'd be pretty cool. Follow us on Instagram, and I think that's all. And we'll see you in the next one.